Time for rolling.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? And welcome to the very first Rules of Survival Time for Solos. I am Endless55, of course, the host of the Time for Rolling eSports podcast, and this is my very first attempt at making a video. I'm going to be playing Rules of Survival, of course. I'm going to be walking through what I did in this specific matchup. Going to try and show you my strategy for this specific game. I am playing by myself, of course. Hopefully, I may be able to bring some time for duos. Uh, Obviously, our podcast is all about Vainglory, but there's a lot of Vainglory content creators out there that make a lot better videos about Vainglory. I wouldn't be able to make a good video and explain anything you guys already don't know. So, Rules of Survival is a newer game. This is the best. I would say battle royale game for mobile. It has its flaws, it has its issues, but it's the best one I think out there that I can play right now. So I've been enjoying it, and I've been wanting to practice my ability to do videos and YouTube, Twitch, that kind of stuff. And I'm a podcaster, so all I deal with is audio. So this is really my first attempt at trying to do more exploring and practicing with video editing, that kind of stuff, how to record all that kind of stuff, getting into 2018, because 2018 is going to bring us 5v5, and we're going to be doing a lot more content outside of just podcasting. So for now, I'm just going to stick with Rules of Survival, show some little tips and tricks that I enjoy when I play. There's a lot of different tips when you do play, though. A lot of people can play different ways. You can be super aggressive. You can land in the very extreme, the popular places. Bitter Lake is a really, really popular place. There's a lot of houses there, and anything that has the bigger name is going to have the more popular area. Of course, on the left there, you can see on board 45 left. I tried to type good luck, but I typed go. Maybe everyone just started jumping out. We're barely halfway, and we have 90 some people have jumped out already. I'm gonna go here towards past the logging camps is gonna be my attempt. I in this specific game, I didn't go to the more packed areas. Sometimes I like going to the most packed areas to try to challenge myself to win early team fights. If you can win early fights, not team fights, just really fights. If you can win early fights, then you basically can, get geared up pretty good. As you can tell already, this game, it's mobile, so it does struggle loading graphics sometimes, and it can be pretty frustrating because I think it does hamper my ability sometimes to actually visually see someone, and I feel like I often get killed without any ability of being able to turn and actually fight. Um, but I did land a little south of the logging camps. I am in the houses. These two-story houses are going to have a lot more gear. I specifically go for these. If you don't go for the big houses, the four-story ones, those are going to have obviously even more floors, so even more chance to pick up good gear. Really, your best chance is to find a popular house where you could probably get decent gear, aka like assault rifle, maybe level 2 gear, helmet, book bag, armor, that kind of stuff. But I'm really just scoping around. Meanwhile, while I'm doing this, I'm always checking my bar above the left rear, right rear. Your southwest, west, north. That definitely it shows vehicles, it shows footprints, it shows a lot of things that are around you. So that can be pretty important when it comes to identifying where people are. Always want to be checking that out to see, make sure no one sneaks up on you. I'm going to go ahead and keep rotating around the houses. I feel like I'm pretty safe here currently. I don't feel like I never saw anyone landing around me. So I'm roaming pretty freely here. And I'm really going to decide here in a little bit what's my next move. Of course, as you can see up on my mini map, I have the 3-minute countdown. I have 3 minutes really to gear up. I haven't checked my circle yet, so that is one thing I did mess up right now, is I'm not really aware about how far I truly am from the safe zone and how much movement I'm going to have to do to travel to get there. The whole purpose of your time is you have 3 minutes to either get your gear and start moving towards the circle, or if you're geared enough, you can survive outside the circle, which that's pretty much going to be my strategy in this game. It's not going to be the most action-packed game, of course. It's going to be, takes me about half hour because I definitely do the turtle strategy, and I try to come in last to every single fight. It's definitely a strategy I've seen many streamers do in PUBG, which of course is the PC version of these battle royale type games. People definitely like to possibly turtle through the and have enough health, you can just sit outside the circle, heal yourself up, and maybe let other people kill them. The downfall is you show up last, and other people can be settled into an area, and you have to fight your way through that. But sometimes you can actually win out just by staying outside the circle and riding the circle in. So that's really still, minute 50 left. I am still not aware of that. I'm still just like, oh, I have a whole area to myself with not a lot of people around. This is pretty sweet. I get to get a pretty good gear. I already have 285 assault rifle. I'm pretty stacked up on that. Level 2 book bag I've had for a while now. My really big thing is going to be either getting a sniper or an AKM. Uh, the AKM is more powerful than your AR and your M4, so I definitely like to use level 3 book bag and armor, so that's good. I definitely need more armor. That's the one thing I need. A first aid kit is definitely nice. That is going to be your most damage. Here's my AKM. That's going to be really nice to have. AKM with a 4 scope, 4 times with a single fire. That does kind of operate as my sniper. If I don't get a sniper, then my AR or M4 will be my close range assault rifles. I normally do run double assault rifle. The double shot shotgun, the type of model 1887 type shotgun, that is a one shot. So that is really nice to have as a secondary if you truly are comfortable with running just one assault rifle. But most of it, I run 2 assault rifles until I get a sniper. So pretty much I'm just gonna, I have 30 seconds left, and I still do not think I've noticed yet how far I truly have to run. I have 30 bandages though, which is a pretty good amount of health early on. That'll definitely keep me alive while I make my way to the safe zone. And I happen to pick a decent spot to land when it comes to not having early fights. There's a level 2 armor, increased 25 health. Here I noticed I was actually running up, and I was like, I do not have time to go to that house. I have 4 seconds until the thing starts moving. I might want to start making my way back towards the circle. So I definitely start planning my route. You can plan your route to go through houses. We can go through logging camps specifically, especially if I think players are already going to be clear from there because they won. A lot of players in this game are afraid of like, oh, there's a circle, I need to get there now. They don't realize that the early circles don't really hurt you that much, and you can actually survive out them for quite some time, maybe almost too much, I would say, if rules to survival would maybe buff the outside of the circle, the death zone, or whatever they call it in this game. So I start moving my way towards that. I know I have a pretty good amount of health. I'm going to be able to survive, heal up constantly while I'm making my way towards the circle. But I think I'm going to be able to actually clear out some houses and continue to loot because I'm stocked. I have 2 assault rifles. I have the 30. I have a first aid kit and I have the 30 bandages, but I'm not completely there all the way. Unfortunately, I do not think the sound in this game actually worked like I wanted when recording. Like I said, this is my really first time doing the whole screen capture into YouTube type stuff. I think if my headphones are in, it doesn't record sound. That's something I have to play with. There's an airdrop way too far away from me. I'm actually gonna get in this vehicle because I wanted to get a little closer to the circle. I'm about to show you how bad the driving is in this game, or maybe just how bad I am at driving. I'm not quite sure, but as you can see, this first circle does not move that fast. Like I still have some pretty decent time to get kind of where I need to go. I'm really just going up here to the log cab or the logging camps, and I kind of decided to bail. I'm like, you know what? I have plenty of time. I'm actually gonna go check out these areas, and it didn't look like it had been looted. A lot of times, if you see the little red Christmas presents currently because of the update of Christmas, that's where people have died. I didn't really see any around, so I was like, maybe this is actually all still here. So I start looting the place. Here's an outhouse. There is currently nothing in the outhouse. I don't know if I had to go to the bathroom or what, but I'm gonna go into the house to start. I'm like, oh, here we go. We got some loot now. I was actually pretty happy about that. So I decided to take some time, and even though the circle is approaching, like I'm not panicking. It's not like, oh my god, I need to run right now. Like I'm gonna die if it gets here. Now it's first circle. It's not gonna do crazy amount of damage. So I wasn't too concerned, and I decided to actually take my time. I wasn't hearing much around me. There's no car showing up my map. I was taking my time. Here we have the first med kits. So when I'm seeing the med kits, I'm like, all right, now I have a couple more med kits. I actually am starting to stock up on health. And that's when I kind of make my decision. Since I landed so far from the circle, sometimes you can get lucky and you land dead center. those times you kind of really have no choice but to stick around to where you are. But since I landed so far away and I actually had a pretty decent amount of loot, and health wise, like med kits, some first aid kits, and bandages, I actually decided I was going to do my strategy of I was going to come in really late, like almost stupid late, to where I'm pushing my luck with how much health I have, and just if someone does see me happen running through the dead zone, I'm gonna get one shot because I'm so low health. So I'm gonna continue. I pop a couple bandages and I do a energy drink that boosts your speed. It does get your health up a little bit, but the biggest thing is it does make you run faster, which is really nice. So I continue. I'm gonna clear out the rest of the logging camps. I'm gonna clear this area level 2. I think I already have that. I'm really mostly looking for sights, more health, and armor right now. The sights and armor are really the big things. A sniper would be nice as well. The SVD is a gun that is extremely, extremely important to have when getting into the not necessarily late game, I would say mid game, because when you get closer and closer, things obviously the circle gets smaller, so we have closer corridors. You want to have those probably full automatic, not necessarily sniper. But as you'll see when I get up towards the mid to late game, when I come to the circles last, it's nice to have a sight and you have a height advantage. You can sit back and just see people crawling through the grass. The crawling through the grass strategy is, I'll discuss it later because it's something people like to do. I see the car here and I'm like, this person right now, you can clearly see this person's in full panic mode. He's like just driving as fast as he can. Here's the water, so I'm like, okay, he's just gonna obviously get out and try to swim. He's not expecting anyone to be back here. Many people do not do this type of strategy where they stick through. I'm like, oh, he's swimming across, and that was 1, 2, 3, 32, 32, and 16. He was super low already, so it did not take me much to kill him. So I'm gonna just clear and make sure no one else is pulling my strategy right now, sticking back and understanding that as long as you have some health, you can survive this first round of being outside the zone. And I just check the houses. Doors are open. Doors are a huge factor if people have looted. A lot of people do not close doors. I always close doors. It's something I try to do. Closing doors is really important just because I think, one, it can trick people in thinking that no one's been there. And if I'm in a house and then someone comes in, the sound is so loud when someone opens a door. I can always hear if someone comes in. But if you leave everything open, then there's maybe not as much something to make you aware that someone else is there. So I take a big risk here. Someone could easily be sitting on the ridge just watching water. I've done that many of times. So I tried to go, here's a 4-time scope. That's huge. More med kits. That's really big. Definitely try to switch all that out. 4-time scope on the AKM. That's going to operate as my sniper long range right now. And I go ahead and just clear the rest of his stuff and I move forward. Get out of the water, maybe heal up real quick and assess which way I want to go. I'm always trying to look ahead. It's very, very difficult for me on my iPhone 7 Plus. It's a big enough screen. It operates the controls the best for me, and my iPad Mini does not operate I'm not as good with the controls, and the game doesn't run as smoothly as it does on my iPhone 7. So I'd play on my iPhone, which makes my visual a little difficult. We'll see here later in this video where you clearly can see someone and I do not notice him just because he's just too far away and I haven't paid close enough attention. So one thing you definitely need to be making sure you're always using that I button right there in the close to top right near my weapons. I like to use that, and if I'm lock my running immediately wherever I'm heading, and I just use that to try to look around me, just see if anyone else is running parallel with you or if someone's trailing you, and always be looking to left and right to see if someone's kind of making the same moves you are, but just east and west of you. So I'm trying to get to the circle just so I can reset myself about coming in late. I think a lot of people maybe have moved on. So I'm definitely just checking ridges here. A lot of people do like to sit on the edge of the circle, the safe circle, because it's something you can always check. You can catch people coming in late, or you can just be the last person in. Again, the iPhone likes to play tricks on me. I thought I saw movement over there. It actually is just the leaves of the trees not loading properly. So that's where I thought I saw people moving. But, as you can see, I have 54 bandages. I got a couple med kits and a first aid. I have a lot of health, so I'm completely full health. And you saw that I was outside of that circle for some time. Everyone else is 29 left. Everyone's flocked. Granted, I'm missing the action. Like I don't necessarily like this strategy. I don't do this strategy every time I play just because I don't like, it's boring. I like to have action. I do play a lot of games where I lose fights early on just because someone lands quicker and gets the gun, and or or and so on. But this strategy is fun just because you do get to last late. The late game is exciting just because of, there's five people left and everyone's crawling, or you're just basically everyone has full armor, full gun, and it's just pretty intense compared to early game. So really, this is my first action. Shots fired since the river. Unfortunately, in this game, the shots are fired, and you can see if someone's close enough to you when shots are fired. But I just could not tell if it was like over the ridge, if they're right here in the house, just killed someone. I couldn't tell based off the sound or the direction of 75 east exactly where that thing came from. So I just kind of wait for a second to see if I see any movement. And I don't really see where the person actually died from. So I end up deciding, I got a minute 20 here. I do have time to relax up here, but I decided to go ahead and push down the hill and either A, catch the person who just killed someone from behind, or just make sure I'm still in a safe enough distance to get to the next ring when it does spawn. Always check bushes. I'm a bush camper. I like to sit in a bush, and people don't always check them. So sometimes I get paranoid and think other people are doing what I have done in the past and sit in a bush for cover. Sometimes they actually give you cover, and sometimes they don't. You can clearly see someone sitting there. So that's probably the biggest issue about ROS is it is mobile. The specs on it are not the greatest. Like this right here, for instance, I'm looking at this care package, but look, oh, okay, everything loads. So it's like, oh, no. So it's pointless to look far. You can't get far kills, to be honest. Like an 8-time scope in this game isn't really useful when you're looking that far away because you don't even know what's loading, what's not. The people don't even show up. So it's just something you have to deal with when you're playing a battle royale like this on your phone. Obviously, you can't expect PUBG. I see a present in there. Um, so I'm like, well, maybe that person was here that just, those shots I had just heard earlier. Maybe that person did kill someone in here. So now I'm like a little more cautious. Like, all right, I need to clear this house before I move on just to make sure that no one is hanging around trying to do what I do. I just need to clear it, make sure I'm good to go. I'm always wanting to make sure my back is clear. That way I don't have to worry about someone running up on me. It can be pretty difficult to do at times because you never know when someone just has more health and they really do play a late game. 16 left already. We're already getting really low. And again, like I said, there's not too much action. You've seen everyone pretty much is ahead of you, getting to the circle first, killing off the people that are visual. 3 more just died right here. A lot of the times when the care packages are dropped from the planes, they kind of flock to those, and it's a big fight. So I'm not always a fan of going to those. I've gotten greedy and I think it's clear, and someone's just baiting out the care drop, and I get picked off right away. And this is when I see the other president, and I was like, okay, so maybe that's where the shots were actually fired. That's where my original thoughts were. So whoever had killed that person, I think they have moved on, long gone, moved up because they are like people say they're afraid of staying outside the circle. They think it's going to kill them instantly. I have 52 bandages left, a first aid, and a couple med kits. I have so much health, and I'm barely even being hurt right now. So it's easy. There's no worries that I'm this far away. I definitely can keep it up, but you don't want to get your health too low. You don't want to definitely get yourself caught out. Get more bandages here. I'm going to go ahead and clear their bodies. I don't even realize what's behind me, and what's behind me is what's actually going to help me a lot. I look and like, holy crap, there's 2 more presents and a care package. I was like, okay, wait a minute, I need to go clear this because who knows what's happened. If people got killed from far away and no one came and cleared the bodies. And I look, and right there we have the M249, a light machine gun. So I was like, okay, we'll definitely switch out and get that gun. I try to clear everything else to make sure. I really still wanted a sniper. I would much rather have a sniper than this light machine gun, but 100 bullets and I don't have to reload. I don't have to worry about any of that. I'll just pick this up and I'll run with this the rest of the game. The AKM will still be my long range sniper. So this is what I'm talking about. You're showing up to everything late. If you are an action person, you want to have the fight. You want to win those those team fight, those battles early on. Then you definitely need to do that. This is not the strategy for you, but it's something. It's an easy strategy to get top 10. I'm top 10 right now. I've gotten 1 kill and I've seen 1 person. So it's a strategy to think about. But I'm as you can see, I'm pretty far, and this is when I'm like, ooh, I got some distance to cover here. So I'm gonna focus on doing that. I'm definitely gonna start just lock my running and keeping my eyes peeled and start looking. We got another car blown up. We're gonna have more presence here. I'm probably really truly looking for maybe a sniper. The rock Rock is playing a trick on me. But you always gotta be careful. You always gotta be double checking. But since we're coming up on houses here, this is when I need to start definitely be checking and being aware of my surroundings, trying to make sure no one's hanging back and trying to pick people off that are stragglers or they think they're the straggler. So I'm going to check presence, get a little more health if I can. I'm almost full inventory. These bandages, I'm just going to keep picking them up. I just got so much. I got too much ammo. I'm going to go ahead and drop some. I don't need all that. I'm not going to use all that by the time the game's over. So I need the health. That's more important. So I'm about half health here. Sports drink will give my speed up. The med kit is definitely what is gonna boost me all the way up to full health here, as you can see. So I definitely only use the med kit when I'm about half health. The apples, I try to eat apples slash bandages. I try to eat those pretty rapidly when I'm kind of hurt, just to keep myself topped off. I'm pretty reckless right here. I'm kind of starting to panic because I do realize how far away I am. I'm not really checking my area. I'm just hoping I truly am the last one joining the circle. I mean, 9 left. The chances of me running into someone, see, you see someone bailed on their bike right here. So someone's like been here. They've taken the same path. I think I'm just last to this path. So I'm gonna stop. I have 94 bandages. So I have like if it allows me, and I'm not taking too much damage, I can stay here and just heal, 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 and eventually, if I was in the right area, I would win. But the circle does start hurting a lot more. Like almost the fact where you don't, the cooldown of using a med kit and first aid is so high, you can't heal quick enough to stay alive during when you're when you're outside of the safe zone. So right now I'm clearly just I'm checking and scanning everything. Bushes, grasses. That's where a lot of people like to hide and crawl. People are crawlers in this game, and the game can be very deceiving about what you can see and cannot see. I hate the strategy, but I understand why people do it. A lot of times you can get yourself caught because if I'm standing and you're crawling, I'm going to see you before you see me. So that's why I like to use my hills advantage. If I can be above anything, I'm going to try to rotate and get above because it's it's pretty easy seeing someone crawling in this game, surprisingly. So we're actually about to enter an actual good visual on the circle. So before I get up there, my luck, I'll stroll up to the top of the hill and there'll be people, and I actually will get one shot just because I'm so low. I realize that the bandages aren't working quick enough. There's my first shots actually. We're at south. So I have a visual on someone south. There were shots being fired. I'm going to go ahead and look, and what do you know, right there. I don't even notice them, but there's someone right there. Go ahead and miss first couple shots. He lays down, but no, I can see him. I go ahead and get my first kill. He was looking more west, so I'm aware that people are that way. So again, I'm turtling. I'm playing the slow game. I'm gonna rotate the opposite way. Try to rotate around the backside. Since I know he was shooting that way, there's no reason for me to just run in right away. So I'm scanning that way. I'm trying to see if I can see anyone that he was shooting at, because you got to remember I shot too. And this AKM, I do not believe has a silencer or a flash hider on, so I believe that my shots were shown on the map, so they kind of know I could be coming in from this way as well. So that's gonna be something I need to keep in mind, that they maybe have a visual on me. I'm indecisive right here. I'm still pretty low. I should not be fighting or doing anything until I heal up. So I had to head to the house. I check the house, see if anyone's camping in there, and I use some app bandages here just because I think I have time. I'm pretty safe. I might as well use up 84 of them. It takes a longer, but there's no reason for me to use a med kit that does a lot better healing. So just the bandages. I'll go ahead and pop these. We'll see if what happens next. The circle's getting smaller. It's starting to shrink. It's going to be time to start moving. 6 left. It's pretty low. This is when people get pretty nervous. People start crawling. They start not moving. They hate, no one runs. It's normally pretty tricky. We're going to see that right here. This person decides just to crawl instead of if this person would have been running at this point, they would have got to a safe spot, maybe in a bush in the middle of the field. I never would have saw them. But instead, they're just crawling, and that's going to take forever. And I'm actually going to notice them here, just simply crawling. And they actually saw me there, but I was the first person to get some shots off. I go ahead and step back out of the circle. There's no need for me to be running in the middle right now. my health is dropping a lot faster. So I'm starting to realize that I can't be outside too long here. My health is dropping lower and lower. I need to use a med kit. I only have 2 left. I'm starting to get a little wary about someone having visual on me trying to sprint. As you can see, this last circle is pretty open here. We're talking open fields, bushes, trees. You know, it's going to be pretty difficult to find true hiding spots. So I'm trying to push and just pick where I should rotate that's best. It's gonna have no one at, and I actually am gonna push to this haystack. As you can see right now in front of me by that tree, completely southwest, and when I turn and look, complete south now, there is a person at that tree, and I had no idea he was there. That's the problem with my iPhone. I don't necessarily pick up someone that far away, but me rewatching the VOD, I saw it, and I could have got a kill a lot earlier, or he could have saw me first and got me. I can still see him. He's sitting at that same tree. So I should have the kill. Here's his shots. Now I know he's there only because he shot. That's the important of flash hiders and silencer people, is because if they can't see me on the map with those shots, if I couldn't see him, I never would have got that kill. And he most likely would have saw me. I am way more open. I'm in the middle of the dead grass. I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. So that's when I'm like, okay, people know I'm here once again. Circles, to my west. I need to start deciding my approach, and I see there's only 2 left. So my hope is they find each other and kill them, and then I'm aware of their position. That's really the best thing that can happen to you. And here's what I should have done. Here should have been the better strategy. Since I knew that guy was on the left side of the map, I should have ran that way and circled around with him, because the chances are someone else being right next to him are slim. They would have already seen each other. So he kind of had that corner down, just like I have this corner down. So I should have rotated that way and not rotate the way I end up deciding to rotate. I rotate to the right and kind of push the other side, which is really me pushing right into probably the other 2 guys. So when I end up doing that, once I get up here to the new circle, I actually run into them, which is fine if you see them first, because if you don't see the person first in ROS, you're screwed. I feel like in PUBG, the more the real computer game, if you get some shots at you, you can maybe turn around and get a win. Pretty much in ROS, if you get one shot, you're going down pretty fast. There's not much health armor that truly does keep you alive, in my opinion. I've died many times from shots that I have no idea where they're coming from. I have no chance to jump, react, hide, do anything before I'm dead. So I'm outside the circle. I'm taking a lot of damage. This time these circles hurt. I am in the worst position. And the reason why I'm alive is because people are laying down. Like, if you're not laying down, you see me sprinting across the open field, and I'm done. I'm third. Unfortunately, I'm, spoiler alert, I'm not gonna get first here. I was pretty ticked off because I made a crucial mistake. But I'm in this bush, and to me, I can't be seen. But it can be seen if I keep rotating like this. So I decided I need to move. I'm actually sitting pretty healthy, though, when it comes to circle-wise. There's not much more room to move when it comes to circle-wise. So I try to rotate outside again. I'm going to try to catch someone crawling. And here's my mistake. Right now there's a guy behind that tree to the right, all the way over the hill. He doesn't see me yet, and I see the other guy. I go ahead and take him out. No flash hider, so that guy is well aware where I am. So here, I should have ran back left and circled around. Move immediately from my position. If you do not have a flash hider or a silencer, I'm not sure which one keeps you off of the radar thing. You need to move right away, because right now I'm about to get shot at because that guy knew I was there. Right there, he's behind that tree. He's going to take me down half health. Instead of me trying to heal, I decided to push again. As a rookie mistake, I got way too aggressive. I was excited, adrenaline pumping, 5 kills, second place. It was a pretty good game for me, but I did not get first like I wanted to. But that's all I have for this episode. It was 30 minutes of me rambling, trying to explain about what I do sometimes in ROS. Hope you guys enjoyed this first time for solos, time for duos, time for squad. Hopefully those will be coming up as well. And really, this is just my first attempt at some YouTube. And if you guys like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe. My YouTube channel is mostly made for my podcast, so it is nice to maybe get some actual real videos on there and show some mobile games. I'm all about that mobile life, so I hope you guys enjoyed.